3:30 p.m. on 23rd and Kentucky Street, right beside Victory Park. There is going to be a reflection ceremony for 17-year-old Little Norman Beals Jr. He lost his life on Tuesday over a senseless argument about a moped. And for him to lose his life in such a senseless way, I mean, again, we want to go back down to that crime scene today and let his family leave the last tattoo at that crime scene to let everybody know that that park will be revitalized for life and won't be known as a death trap, if you will. So today at 3:30 p.m., family's going to gather down there with friends and also a lot of loved ones who love Little Norman. He is the first teenage homicide victim in 2009, and we're going back down there today at 3:30 p.m. to reflect on his memory, but also raise the energy for positive thought and try to educate, especially young people, about the traps of the whole issue of anger and rage. It's a symptom that definitely leads to a violent act. So if you all could join us today, please do so. Upcoming shows next week. Rasan's got a great show lined up for us on April the 5th, and also April the 12th. We're going to bring in Dime Block Entertainment into the studios, and we've got a very, very special topic lined up for them. It's titled Survival by Any Means Necessary. The Dime Block crew comes out of the Beach of Terror housing complex, and they did some things to try to make sure that they show by example that even when you're down, you can rise above those emotions into a more positive thought process. We look forward to them on April the 12th. And also, on the last side note, please join us next Sunday on April the 5th. Next Sunday on April the 5th on our sister station at 6 p.m. for From the Corner to the Courthouse, Both Sides of Justice, with the young attorneys Felicia Newman from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office and former University of Louisville basketball member and current criminal defense attorney Derwin Webb and our crew as we start our segments on the Both Sides of Justice discussions. And that segment on April the 5th will entail a discussion around legalizing.
But Megan is 13 years old, going to middle school, about to go to high school. Very intelligent young lady, if I do say so myself.
Well, what middle schools?
South
Olmsted.
Olmsted. I almost said Oldham, like we were in another county or whatever. So.
You have a question for Megan? Well, Megan, share with us and the viewers, if you will, some of the music selections that you appreciate.
You know, honestly, really, like today's music, all the rapping and all the, selling drugs and the shooting and stuff, it's not really important to young girls. We look up to, like, people like Rihanna, and it's like, when we had that whole Chris Brown allegedly beating her and stuff, and she took him back, that's not influenced us as young ladies. I mean, we look up to them, we sit here, we listen to their music, and it's like, if you're talking about getting shot, people think that's cool and that's it. That's not it. I mean, it's not cool to sit here and, oh, I'm going to deal drugs, and, oh, because he loves me, all this stupid stuff. I mean, it's like, it's not worth it. We are young ladies. We need to love ourselves more than anything is possible. And I mean, it's like, people need to ease their mind away from all this rap music because it's not good for you. Listen to, like, the Jackson 5, Go back in the
That's my influence.
Go back in the old days. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to be like, oh my God, you're listening to old music, you're not cool anymore. No, because it's like, you are who you are. And by listening to this, shaking and booty dropping, all that stuff, that's not going to help you at all in your life. You're going to end up flipping burgers at McDonald's if you're going to listen to that stuff. You got to make a future for yourself, and you got to, if you want to sit here, you want to be a lawyer, go for it. You want to be a doctor, go for it. It's like, don't listen to all this stuff that's going to bring you back and that's going to keep you from succeeding in your goals.
Well, and to kind of put a finer point on it, apparently Rihanna and Chris Brown are no longer together because Rihanna's out and doing her thing and she's happy, and pictures of him, he's just sullen and like, oh my goodness, I'm done. But then the other part is when we were listening to the ladies first, Megan's kind of doing her head nod to the beat, and I'm like, you don't know that song. But she said, I like this song. So.
Okay, it's good stuff. We've got probably about a minute left in this segment. Would you like to tell your mom, give her a shout out, because she knows you're young ladies?
Mommy, I love you, and I will never, ever, ever do bad things like these girls out on the streets again.
Felicia, we've got about 30 seconds. Could you just give us a quick assessment of what you just listened to in regards to Megan's comments?
Well, I'm glad that Megan has a good head on her shoulders, and she has obviously a great parents involved in her life. And that's probably the main thing that we need to learn from Megan, is that parents have a great influence on their children. You know, you can't let the radio and the television raise your child.
Great stuff. If y'all like to call in and give us a comment, or if you have a question, call in at 571-2965. 571-2965. We'll be back in a minute with Women in Music. This is Streets of Talking, y'all.
Someone might do you wrong because of a past relationship or whatever, so, you know, they treat the present like it's one of the past. Like, you know, everybody's different. So, you know, you should give everybody a chance. And I feel like, you know, it's always a good one out there. You know, you just might not be looking in the right direction. Or you might have found them, you just don't know that that's them. Because the qualities you looking for.
What about when you, I had described to you earlier when we were off air, Tupac wrote from two different perspectives about women when he wrote his lyrics. And that's the way he would deliver his message. What about you? Are you a Pac fan? Did you kind of feel the way that Pac wrote from those two different perspectives about the females?
Well, you know, I listened to him, but I don't think I was listening to those type of songs. So, but I am a Pac fan, though. I do listen to him.
That's great stuff. Tim, let me ask you a quick question, if you don't mind. You are probably a Pac fan at some level.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of follow the way he wrote from two different perspectives. What kind of message was he trying to send in regards to women, and the way that he shaped his two different messages from your vantage point?
I think what Tupac was going through was a little bit of a confusion. He revered his elders, obviously, but women that were his peers and his contemporaries, he wasn't as reverential about. It was more about we're back to booty shaking and what can you do for me after we close this door and we kind of have some adult time, put it that way. And for his elders, he was a lot more reverential in his language, including the kind of the selection of the explicit language that he used, which was a lot different from his peers and contemporaries, which were more like objects to him. And that's kind of where I think his confusion came in. And I think he was working through that, but then, you know, his life was tragically cut short, so he never got to that conclusion of where I thought he needed to go, and I think he...
Technology takes a minute.
All right, yeah, technology. My daughter here, Megan, and who you saw in the video earlier. I'm back kind of doing the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know, checking the recording and stuff like that. And just from what I'm listening to, really good show. I hope people kind of get a positive message out of it. Always want to make the point that it's not that we're attacking hip-hop. What we're trying to do is clean our own house so that we can raise our babies the correct way. And then we can branch out and see what we can do about cleaning everybody else up, because in the end, that's where we're trying to go back to the way we were born. We were born innocent. We didn't have any of this other baggage. If we can get back to that point, then I think we're better people for it.